No one ever believed when I told them this story, but that never ever stopped me telling it. I don't ever mean to blow my own horn, but I've always considered a big burly man who have never backed down from anything or any challenge. Privately, I don't mind telling you, I'm terrified when it comes to ghost stories, especially one when they're real, like mine. This happened many years ago, as they say, when I was a spring chicken, jet-setting all around the world, having a great business, trying to drum up all sales. My favourite country to visit was, and still is, was Germany. I love the liquid bread, the thick beer, the consistency of honey, and their awesome food, as well as their old towns and country estates. I'm going to edit this anyway, so yeah. One of the estates I stayed in was an old homestead that used to belong to a doctor. The owners at that time advised me that this doctor was a Nazi who apparently conducted gruesome experiments. He was also known to be addicted to surgery himself. I was shown a photo of him which chilled me to the bone because he had a terrifying smile. This smile was permanent, and he suffered a freak accident where he had tripped and fallen on a wire which sliced his mouth and went through to his cheeks, all the way to his jawline. As much as I was creeped out, his present owners assured me that he was safe and that they had not seen him at any time, and they also said that a local priest was and had performed a cleansing when they moved in. When I prepared for bed, I did my best to think about the next day, which was going to be a trade expo with lots of glorious European food and alcohol. I tried to ignore the feeling of my prickling hairs and the occasional blast of cold air on my face. I reasoned with myself that it was an old wives' tale and an old house with drafts and ancient plumbing. I read over my notes in bed and soon fell asleep. I don't remember turning the bedside lamp off, but when I woke up a couple of hours later, the room was dark. I could still see most of the room because the light of the moon was flooding through the stained glass windows. Then I saw my breath coming out as white clouds. The chill was intense. It baffled me because we were in the middle of a pleasant summer. My blood started to freeze when I smelled the distinct smell of formaldehyde, which I could have sworn I had heard several sinister whispers in German. Just as I decided to sit up and turn the lamp on, a hideous man appeared hovering over me. It was the vicious Nazi doctor. Keep in mind that I hadn't a drink before bed, which was usually something I liked to do. The face had a strange blue hue, and I don't mind saying that I screamed like a little girl with his terrifying wide smile. He leered at me in his wild eyes as he stared right through me into my soul. I hid under the sheets and then fell out of bed. When I jumped up, I saw the face had disappeared, but I could still smell that formaldehyde. The room was still ice cold, and I could faintly hear the constant whispering in German. I could barely speak the language, but 3 words stuck in my mind. Hello, klein Schweinchen, which translates as, hello, little piggy. I leapt over to the bedside table and I flicked the lamp on. When the room lit up, the stench and chill disappeared. Much to my relief, I knew that the room across the corridor was empty, so I didn't wait to relocate, not bothering to ask permission from the owners. It took me ages to fall asleep, but I left the light on just in case. Yeah. Oh dear. Cut it. Can't find me papers. Hang on a minute. Hang on. What's going on? Oh, fuck's sake. Oh dear. I can't find the fucking paper. Hang on. Oh, fuck it. the fuck is it? Where's it gone? Where you gone? Right. When when I woke up several hours later, I saw that once again the light was off. I wondered if the lamps operated on a timing device, but I reached my hand out and turned it back on. That's when I felt a pocket of icy cold air, which made me withdrawn from in my hand in terror. That familiar smell of that stuff crept in my nostrils. I shuddered and sat up. The room was a lot darker from the other one, and it seemed like the moon that was blocked from illuminating the room. When I looked over at the window, I couldn't believe my eyes. I saw a shadow bobbing up and down like a man floating in front of the window. When I heard the whispering again, I screamed and raced over to the door. I screamed again when I felt a strong blast of cold air on my neck. When I spun around, the shadow man was gone, but the smell was intense, while the whispering became maniac, quite loud. Then the door swung open. I fell back and I saw the owner staring wide at me. I pointed at the window and yelled, "The doctor, he's there!" He laughed and asked what I was doing in that room. When I told him what had happened, he laughed again and said that maybe they should have showed me the picture of the doctor, that I had an overactive imagination. I didn't stay in that house for fear of seeing that face again. Worse luck, he's appeared in my nightmares ever since. What a story.